Here شباب here I'm writing x equals x belongs to 0 to 2 pi. It means x more than or equal 0 less than 2 pi. What if this interval is not given? يعني like only solve the equation 3 sine x minus 2 equals 5 sine x minus 1. Only the given without given interval. So we have to write general solution. This is solution, and when we need to write general solution. The general solution here, we know that the period for sine or for cosine is 2 pi. The sine and the cosine periodic, it's 2 pi. So to get the general solution, just add 2 pi n times to each solution here. So the general solution would be 7 pi over 6 plus 2 pi n times 2n pi and 11 pi over 6 plus 11 pi over 6 plus 2 pi n times 2n pi. Here the same. Here in this one on your own, you have to get the solution. Then get the general solution. Why? Because I'm not giving you here an interval. Without any interval, so you have to get the general solution. In problem number 2, it says here, solve tan 3x equals 1. Tan 3x equals 1. The function tan is periodic each pi. Yeah, the period for tan of tan x equals pi, not 2 pi. The period for tan equals pi. So let's get the solution. Then add n pi to each solution. Now I'm saying tan 3x equals 1. So directly we can use shift tan to get the angle. So 3x equals tan negative 1, 1. Tan negative 1, 1 equals 45. 45 can be written as pi over 4. So 3x equals pi over 4. This is solution. If I want to get the general solution, plus n pi. So pi over 4 plus n pi. This is 3x because the angle was given 3x. If I want to get x, divide each by 3. Divide the whole equation by 3. So I'm gonna divide here by 3. Divide this one by 3. Divide this one by 3. So I'm gonna write here x equals pi over 12 plus n pi over 3. Pi over 12, because pi over 4 divided by 3 is pi over 12. Pi over 12 plus n pi over 3. In which interval? In the interval from 0 to 2 pi. From 0 to 2 pi. Now, let's do substitution for n equals 1, for n equals 2, for n equals 3. Till you get any number, all the numbers less than 2 pi. If you get a number more than 2 pi, this is not solution. When n equals 0, the solution will be pi over 12 plus pi over 12 plus, do substitution here for n equals 0. So it becomes 0 pi over 3, it's 0 pi. When n equals 1, the solution will be pi over 12 the same, plus n pi 1 pi over 3 plus pi over 3. If n equals 2, the solution will be pi over 12 plus 2 pi over 3. If n equals 3, the solution will be pi over 12 plus 3 pi over 3, it means plus pi. 3 pi over 3, it means plus pi. Then when n equals 4, the solution will be pi over 12 plus 4 pi over 3. Let's get the solution. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. When n equals 5, pi over 12 plus 5 pi over 3. Let's get this solution. خلاص, pi over 12 is the same here. Pi over 12 plus pi over 3 equals 5 pi over 12. This is 5 pi over 12 here plus 2 pi over 3 plus 2 pi over 3, 3 pi over 4, 3 pi over 4 plus 2 pi over 3 plus 3 pi over 3, 13 pi over 12 plus 4 pi over 3 plus 4 pi over 3, 17 pi over 12, still less than 2 pi, then 5 pi over 3, 7 pi over 4, 7 pi over 4. If we add one more pi over 3, if n equals 6, so pi over 12 plus 6 pi over 3. Let's try 6 pi over 3. I think we are gonna get a number more than 2 pi. It's 25 over 12. 25 over 12 is more than 2 pi. Is more than 2. So this one is not solution. So the solution will be pi over 2, pi over 12, 5 pi over 12, 3 pi over 4, 13 pi over 2 over 12, 17 pi over 12, and 7 pi over 4. We have here 5 solutions. We have here 5 solutions. So we are using here different technique to find the solution of this equation. We are using here different technique. This technique based on the period. Solution using the period. Get the angle and use the period as we have here multiple of the angle. We don't have here 10x equals 1. If 10x equals 1, we can solve it normally. Like the previous one. Like the previous one. Like this one. But we have here tan 3x. Tan 3x. We have here multiple for the angle. I'm gonna give you the time to solve like this one on your own. On your own. Try to solve the equation tan 2x equals root 3 using the same interval from 0 up to 2 pi. From 0 up to 2 pi.